Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Damodara by His Holiness Bhakti Purusottama Swami. We've been reading from the section 1 at the moment, and let's continue the reading. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam ham bande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhamam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So we have already been through the Damodara Leela, and then we were reading about how can Krishna be God, and the greatness of Mother Yashoda we read yesterday, and now actually we are proceeding to section 2 now, which is all about the glorious pastime of observing the Kartik Vrata. There is an ancient story of a very learned Brahmana who resided on top of the Saha mountain in the city of Kaveripuram. His name was Dharamdatta. Once during the month of Kartik, he was on his way to a Vishnu temple to observe his Vrata by remaining awake for the entire night. While he was walking to the temple holding all the puja paraphernalia in his hand, Dharamdatta saw that a dreadful witch was coming towards him. Upon seeing the witch, Dharamdatta began trembling out of fear. Gathering some courage, he threw the plate holding all the puja paraphernalia at which, as he threw it, he was remembering Lord Hari amongst the paraphernalia. There happened to be some water with tulsi leaves, and as soon as that water touched the witch, she was immediately free from all her sins. She was suddenly able to remember all her previous life's karma for which she had received the body of a witch. She offered obeisances to the Brahmana and said, "O Brahmana, I have achieved this condition as a result of my previous karma. Please tell me how I can achieve a better destination." Dharamdatta said, "From what kind of karma have you attained this condition? Where are you from? What is your name? Tell me everything in detail." The witch replied, "In my previous life, I was the wife of Brahmana who was living in the city of Saurashtra. My name was Kalaha. I was a very cruel-natured woman, never treating my husband well. What to speak of treating my husband well? I did not even speak a kind word to him. I never fed him good food. I was always deceptive and very fond of quarreling. For this reason, my husband was always in anxiety due to my actions. Finally, he decided to marry a second wife, and I committed suicide by drinking poison. The Yamadutas then came and bound me, biting me as they dragged me to Yamaloka. There Yamaraj asked Chitragupta, "Please check what kind of karma this person has performed and award her accordingly." Hang on, I think I have just trying to make sure that I haven't missed anything. No, I think I'm okay. Right. Chitragupta said, "This person has not performed any." So there, Yamaraj asked Chitragupta, "Please check what kind of karma this person has performed and award her accordingly." Chitragupta said, "This person hasn't performed any good karma. She would eat all the nicest foods alone without sharing them with her husband. She was always averse to her husband. For this reason, she will take birth as a vampire bird. She was always fond of quarreling. For this reason, she will take birth as a stool-eating pig. She used to eat alone from the same pot she used to use for cooking. For this reason, she will take birth as a cat who eats her own baby. She has committed suicide, accusing her husband. For this reason, she will remain for some time alone in the form of a witch. She would be sent by the Yamadutas to a place where there is no water, and she should remain there for a lengthy period in this form of a witch, and following this she will suffer in 3 different lives." The witch said, "O Vipravara, I am the most sinful Kalaha who is standing here in front of you in form of a witch. I have already spent 500 years in this body. I came up here to the confluence of the Krishna and Veni rivers by possessing the body of a businessman. As soon as I reached the confluence, the associates of Lord Shiva and Vishnu forcibly removed me from the body of this businessman. Since then, I have been wandering hither and thither, suffering from great hunger and thirst. Now upon seeing me, you threw your puja plate at me, and the water and tulsi touched me, freeing me from all my sins. O great Brahmana, please advise me, how can I be free from this degraded form of a witch, and how can I avert the suffering due to me in my next 3 births? After hearing this description of Kalaha's past life, Dharamdatta thought for some time and then said, by performing Satkarma like charity, vratas and so on in the holy dham, people are freed from their sins, but you are in this preta, that is a witch's body, and therefore you are not qualified to perform these activities. For this reason, I will give you half the pious credits which I have gathered by performing Kartik Vrata throughout my entire life since childhood. This will certainly guarantee you a better situation. Having spoken these words, Dharamdatta sprinkled water with tulsi leaves upon the witch while chanting the Dwadakshara mantra, or the 12-syllable mantra. As soon as the tulsi water touched the witch and she heard the mantra, she was released from the preta body and appeared in the form of a beautiful Devi. Her beauty was comparable to the beauty of Lakshmi Devi. She then fell to the ground to offer her obeisances and spoke in great ecstasy, O best among the Brahmanas, by your mercy, today I have been freed from this hellish life. I was drowning in an ocean of sins. You came like a boat to deliver me from this ocean of sins. As she was addressing the Brahmana, she could see an effulgent chariot descending from the sky at the door of the chariot, and from the sky carrying 2 Vishnudutas named Punyashila and Sushil. They were standing at the door of the chariot and carefully picked up the beautiful Devi, placing her on the chariot with them. Dharamdatta was greatly surprised to see the chariot, and he immediately offered prostrated obeisances to the messengers of the Lord Vishnu. Punyashil and Sushil picked Dharamdatta up from the ground and said, O best among the Brahmanas, thank you so much, because you are always engaged in Hari Bhajan and merciful upon fallen and unfortunate souls. You observe all Vishnu Vratas, and by giving half of the results of Kartik Vrata which you have performed since your childhood, you have freed this person from all sins, and at the same time the result of your Kartik Vrata has doubled. Now I am taking her to Vaikuntha Dham. At the end of your life, you will also go to Vaikuntha Dham along with your 2 wives. Dharamdatta, whoever performs worship of Lord Vishnu with devotion like you is blessed and his life is successful. If someone worships Lord Vishnu nicely, there is nothing that the Lord will not give to him. He gave Dhruvalok to Dhruv Maharaj and the son of Uttanpad. All living entities are delivered just by remembering his holy name. Previously, the king of the elephants was delivered by the Lord just by remembering his name. As we all know, that was Gajendra. That's why they also say that during the month of Kartik, it's very nice to read the Gajendra Moksha also from Srimad Bhagavatam. So previously the king of elephants was delivered by the Lord just by remembering his name when he was attacked by a crocodile. The Kartik Vrata which you have observed since your birth for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu is the greatest sacrifice. No yagya, no charity or tirth is equal to this Kartik Vrata. You are truly blessed because you have observed Kartik Vrata which is very dear to Lord Vishnu and given half the result of his Kartik Vrata to this lady. She is now going with us to the abode of Lord Vaikuntha Lok. Now the next story is about Gunamati appeared as Satyabhama by performing the Damodara Vrata. This pastime took place during the end of Satyug. There was a Brahman living in Haridwar named Deva Sharma. He appeared in the dynasty of Atri and was very expert in the knowledge of the Vedas. He was very nicely situated, but he had no son. He had only one daughter whose name was Gunamati. Deva Sharma arranged for Gunamati to get married to one of his disciples named Chandra. Chandra was very obedient and had full control over his senses. He was respectful and served Deva Sharma like his father. One day, Deva Sharma and Chandra went to the forest to collect auspicious ingredients like kusha grass for yagna. While in the forest, they came across a fearsome demon who killed both of them due to their pious credits in the devotional life. Both went back to Vaikuntha. When Gurumati heard about the death of her father and husband, she began to cry pitifully. In separation from them, she sold various items from her house and performed a Shraddh ceremony according to her capacity. She then continued to live in that city. Although socially she was dead, she observed 2 vratas throughout her life, Ekadashi Vrata and the Kartik Vrata. Every year without fail she observed Kartik Vrata. One year she was extremely sick due to her illness. She became very weak. She was also suffering from fever. Somehow, due to her determination, she still managed to reach the Ganga to take bath. As soon as she entered the water, her body went into shock from the cold and she fell to the ground trembling. In that helpless condition, she suddenly saw a chariot descending from the sky. She then left her material body, boarded the chariot in her spiritual body, and went to Vaikuntha Lok, where she stayed near Lord Vishnu due to the pious results of her performing Kartik Vrata. By the prayer of the demigods, including Brahma, the Lord later appeared on the earth in his form of Sri Krishna. When the Lord comes to perform his pastimes, all his associates also come with him. All the members of the Yadu Vansha were associates of the Lord. Gurumati appeared as Satyabhama. Her father in a previous life, Deva Sharma, appeared as Satrajit, and father of Satyabhama and her husband in a previous life. Chandra appeared as Akrura. Due to the result of her performance of Kartik Vrata, Gurumati became very dear to the Lord and appeared as Satyabhama to give pleasure to the Lord. In a previous life, she had planted a Tulsi garden in front of her house. As a result of that, she now had a Kalpa Vriksha tree in front of her palace. Once Satyabhama said, "My Lord, I am blessed. My life is successful by attaining you as my husband. My Lord, please tell me what kind of pious activities did I perform in my previous life that I could be so fortunate to become your wife in this present life on the earth. Please tell me who I was in my previous life and what I was like." In reply to this inquiry of Satyabhama, Sri Krishna described the events of her previous life. The Lord said, "Just by performing Kartik Vrata, you have attained me as your husband." So the third story is about a most fallen lady delivered by observing Kartik Vrata. In ancient times, there was a Brahmana by the name of Buddhu in the state of Dravida. His wife was very wicked and was engaged in all kinds of sinful activities. Due to her association, her husband's lifespan was reduced and he died prematurely. After the death of her husband, she became even more adulterous and felt no shame even though she was criticized by her community. She had no son or brother and sustained herself by begging rice. She never cooked for herself and often ate rice which had been cooked the previous day. Furthermore, she never visited any holy places or heard any Puranas. One day, Brahman named Kutsa was performing a Tirth Yatra, came to her house. When Kutsa saw this lady, he was fully engrossed in adulterous activities. He felt compassion for her and said, "O foolish woman, you must listen to my advice very carefully and attentively. Why are you maintaining this material body which is made of 5 elements such as earth, water, etc., and which is filled with pus and blood? This body is like a water bubble and one day it must be destroyed. If you accept this temporary body as eternal, then through proper understanding you must remove the misconception which has been sitting within your mind. You should meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead and listen to his pastimes with great attention. During the month of Kartik, for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, you should take an early bath daily, give charity, offer lamb, circumambulate Lord Vishnu, and offer pranams to him. All these activities will free you from the reactions to the many sinful activities you have committed." Having spoken these words, the Brahman Kutsa left her house. After hearing the instructions of Kutsa, the Brahmani began to repent for all her sinful activities and decided to observe the Kartik Vrata. When the month of Kartik started, she observed the Kartik Vrata by taking early morning bath and offering a lamb daily to Lord Vishnu. Then after some time, when her lifespan was finished, she left her body. After death, she was promoted to the heavenly planets, and after enjoying heavenly pleasure, she was liberated. Any person who observes the Kartik Vrata and offers a lamb every day will be delivered by hearing this pastime. So there are some more stories which we will continue to read from next time. Thank you for joining. Wish you all again a very happy Damodar month. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.